Hi everyone. Today we're going to be doing a review on the Hallmaster Drywall Panel Hoist from Harbor Freight. Let's get started. So we're going to start out with the first part, which is the tripod base. What you have to do is these are on a hinge, these two wheel assemblies. And then there's a piece right here that if you push it in, it lets go of a little metal piece that's holding in a hole inside this main tube. And you slide this down. All right. And it locks into place. Now this second part is called the telescoping assembly, and we're going to be placing this V notch in here, and this little piece that sticks out, we're going to slide it over the top here. Okay. Be careful not to get your fingers in there because this does move. You don't want to get pinched because this thing is fairly heavy. There. Slides right in. Nice and solid. Okay, I've turned it around so that you can see the front of this wheel. The next step is to put the handle into the wheel. Now this has a nut that's welded on here and it's all been painted. So if you need to, get out a flathead screwdriver for this right here to turn it through. And don't get it too tight, give it a little bit of play so that you can move the handle. And then there's a nut to tighten up on the back. There we go. I'm going to put the nut on the back. Good. Okay, the next step is to get this wheel assembly down into working position. What you're going to do is you're going to pull this center bar out towards you, and then this little piece, you need to lock that in. So that's going to keep this bar from moving up to where you can push this back in. And then you'll be able to raise it and lower it. And it looks like it has a locking mechanism here too, which is great. Okay. There. Okay, now we're going to install the cradle. We're going to be putting this mounting pin into this hole here. So you're just going to slide that in. Just like that. The next piece we're going to put on is this handle, and it's going to be on the back side. This is the cradle housing. Okay, so it's going to be on the back side of the cradle housing, and it has the two nuts and bolts in here. So you're just going to take those off, slide this into the top, line up your holes, and slide your bolts through. And these are lock nuts, so you will need a little wrench or something to tighten these up. They're fairly close to the bracket itself, so try not to pinch your finger in there, and I'll tighten those up in a few minutes. The last two pieces are going to be these two on this side, and that's the actual part that holds the drywall. So I'll go grab those now. Okay, so these are the cross arms. Now, in the directions it says that when you're storing these, you want to have this piece right here, this silver piece. That's the hook. Okay, that's if you're turning the drywall, you know, onto its side. That's going to hold the drywall from falling off. Okay, while it's stored or while you're transporting it, this is what they call the closed position, where this rounded part is up against the steel. This one is the open position. This is in the area ready for work. Okay, so the drywall is going to sit right here, and this will hold the drywall from falling off the lift. Okay, these pieces are interchangeable, they said, so they fit on either side, so it doesn't matter which one you put in where. But basically what you do, set one of these down. Basically what you do is you slide that in. Oops, let me get it on that other side. Kind of put some pressure on the top, and once you hear that click, that is this piece locking into place. And then if you need to remove it, you're going to push that up. You're going to have to push it out a little bit. You're going to push that piece up, and then you can pull it out again. But while you're working, put some pressure, pull it in, and have that piece lock in place. Good. Now that we have it assembled, I'm going to try it out. Okay, as you can see, we have the drywall up on top of the lift now, and we have one of the hooks back here, and you can slide this hook up, and then you can tighten this to make it hold tight up, you know, on the ledge. Now, if you're going to be installing the drywall on your own, I would highly recommend that you change the pivot point to where this table faces forward. You can lay the drywall onto the hooks, and then you can move the pivot table. Instead of having to lift it up and put it over the top, I did have help today, so we just put it on top, but you can actually change the pivot table right here. You just pull that pin out, and it'll turn forward, so you can place the drywall on, and then once you get the drywall latched onto these hooks, you can push the table back and put the pin back in. Another thing just a quick reminder is always make sure that you put the drywall facing down or facing towards the machine. That way, you know, you've got the good side facing out. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and install this. Now we're gonna push. I've still got the rollers unlocked. We're gonna push it a little bit, kind of get it in the general area. And now we're going to lift. Actually, I'm gonna put the brake on. Okay, make sure you're not hitting any of your corners on the way up. Okay. And you can hear that click. There is a brake stop on this left side, and there's some notches cut out. So once you get to a certain height, the locking mechanism will drop into a hole, and that way it can't come crashing back down. Okay, now we're pretty close, so I'm going to take the brake off. I'm going to get it right in position. Okay. Now that's right where I want it to be. And I'm in between notches. Okay. Now, you want to check and make sure that you're flush up against your studs. It looks like I'm pretty straight. Okay. All right. Now you're going to want to grab some drywall screws and attach it to your studs. Now that we have the perimeter secured with the drywall screws, I'm going to go ahead and drop the lift down. And there you have it. We've got the drywall up on the ceiling. I'll go through here and add several more screws. And we got it lined up, got it up there. This was a pretty good investment. I think we paid around 150 bucks for it over at Harbor Freight. And this is gonna save me a lot of headache. I can actually start doing some of this drywall myself, which is extremely helpful. So yeah, I think I would definitely recommend this to a friend. If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe down at the bottom, and we'll see you next time. Bye.